Alright guys, welcome back to another Down and Dirty. I can't stress enough, and this isn't going to be a down and dirty of what we're doing and everything else. You guys get the scope. You see the logs, you see the pile right here. Here's been our work zone. This one spot right here. That's about an acre. Then we've done all this over here. Another quarter acre. We've done some stuff down the hill where we first started learning how to finesse this grapple and everything else. What I really want to do with this Down and Dirty here is I actually want to give Steelrist a round of applause for this design. You don't realize what you have until you got it. Then you really realize what you have once it's going to be gone. Like, I don't want to do work anymore without one of these. If you guys get your hands on one of these to demo, you're going to consider buying one. And I'm not saying that to just blow smoke up your wazoo. I'm really applauding Steelrist because a lot of this stuff is, look how pretty it is, look what it could do, look at the paint. We put this thing through its paces, and this thing just worked its butt off. We've pride on this thing, not abusing it, but working it. Real life conditions. This thing is just built. It doesn't even struggle. You think it would struggle just rotating this stuff around. It doesn't matter what angle you got it on. This thing just works. It's built really well. These guys, once I kept questioning the capability of what this thing could do, how strong it was, am I going to break it? About 4 hours into it, after I learned to do my muscle memory and teach myself something with these controls, I realized I'm not going to break this machine. You look at where the gyro's at, and you look at the quick couplers and everything that's going on, it's overwhelming. Now you still got to be aware of the hydraulic lines, and you can't abuse any kind of attachment. That's not what we did. But at the end of the day, this thing is just stout. It's strong. They really thought every aspect of it, because I'm like, oh, you can't do this, or you're going to break this. You know, this thing, all right. You start building that comfort level of, hey, let's just do a little bit more. Let's just push it a little bit more. Let's push the capabilities a little bit more. To the end of the day here, we were snapping trees, right at the tops right out, throwing them on the ground. We just started getting really aggressive, really efficient. And I don't want to say we were running out of our skill set or capabilities. I want to say we were just starting to find the groove of what this thing is really capable of. This thing really shines when it comes to doing tree work. Being able to take this thing and just manipulate the trees, the angles you can get in with this thing. I want to say we're working in a 30 to 40% radius without even moving the machine, and being able to just throw trees around any direction versus a standard machine with a thumb and a bucket. You got to get right up on it because you only have so much room that you can manipulate. You know, you're constantly having to get your boom on it, but yeah, as you start pushing and swing, you got all that power right here. And just being able to manipulate that tree and run it right down to the ground. Safety comes into play, efficiency and effectiveness. I could really control this job site with these trees for what we were doing today. Now, obviously, some of the bigger trees, you would need a bigger machine. Now, with another Steelrist, it could be in the realm of it again. But for what we were doing, we had a Cat 308 machine. We were working this thing today like it was a 320. So I don't know, 2 weight classes up. That's the kind of capabilities that this thing gave with the power, because I'm not manipulating trees with a thumb in a bucket. I'm really controlling stuff to the point we had a couple trees left to take down before we lose this machine, and it goes back to steel wrist. And again, thank you to the guys at Steel Wrist, great men to deal with, and women. I wasn't even comfortable at that point. I started trusting this thing way more than I did a bucket and a thumb. So you have to really look at the capabilities of what you're getting into. Versatility is what really gets me and sets things apart. You get up on an angle, and it didn't even matter to picking up rocks, to moving dirt and trees. You just manipulate what you're doing, and you could just grab everything. This boulder right here, look at this. It's just a well-built design with this machine. Now obviously these boulders are going to be a little heavier, so you got to hit the right angle, but still, that thing is just handling it. We'll stick it out there. Well, we're hitting the tipping capacity of the machine. But again, I let that go, so I didn't go on over with it. But that steel wrist is still capable of handling it. So give this thing a look. If you could get this in a decent operator's hands, this thing will start producing once someone learns how to run this. I would have to say you're 20 to 30% more efficient on a job. You know, with the labor shortage that we got and trying to get people to work, this thing really makes up for itself when it comes to the labor shortage. I'm able to just manipulate everything I do versus, hey, that's good enough, let's just do it by hand, you know. No, you put this thing right into its paces and capability of going, I got the steel wrist, let me see if I can figure this out. That's the kind of capability that this steel wrist puts in the operator's hands. Again, retaining walls, rock walls, ready walls, any kind of landscaping. You know, you look at anything like what we got going on right now, and you got some tree work going on, anything like that. The versatility with this machine is just unreal. I mean, you think about, hey, I got this rock and there's a branch right in my way. For example, when you're doing this retaining wall, right? Watch this. We'll come right down on it. We'll get the right angle. We'll grab that branch. Check this out. There it is. I can take that branch, we throw her right out the way. Look at that. Hey, I need that extra rock. Let's see if the machine has enough counterweight on it to deal with what I'm trying to showcase you. Let's see, we'll get her here. The finesse of this machine. Look at that. A little heavy. Machine struggling a little bit. Not bad, but steel wrist didn't struggle at all. So again, look at what I'm able to do, carrying a couple rocks, sticks, whatever in the way. Well-built machine. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Again, check Steel Wrist out. We'll catch you in the next one.